Hi, why don't you make a flower or baby in bloom cake with me? I've already frosted the cake, and if you'd like to know how to frost a cake like this, I'm actually working on a workshop right now for this. Let me go over the tools that you'll need for this cake. I've made a wafer paper ranunculus, and if you're looking for a ranunculus like this and you don't want to make it, I actually sell them on my Etsy store. I'll link it below. And I've actually covered the stem in a cocktail straw. That way when you put it in the cake, it's going to be nice and clean to still eat the cake. I've made a fondant rainbow with Tylose. And if you're interested in making a rainbow like this, I actually have another video that I'll link that shows you how to make this rainbow. And I have lots of little fondant flowers. I made those with these different molds. And I also made some fondant leaves with these molds. I'll link those below as well. The other flower I have is a daisy. And the petals I actually made from wafer paper, and I cut them out on my Cricut, and I just misted it a little bit, and I curled it with a balling tool, and then the inside is actually made from fondant, and I just pushed it in the center of this mold right here. These stems were just rolled out fondant, and I cut them just to kind of look like the stems of a flower. Some of them are a little bit tapered. And the same with these kind of petals, almost cut in a triangle shape. The Amelia is actually made from gold cardstock that I cut out on my Cricut. And the last thing that you'll need is I have the buttercream in the same color as the cake, and this is just going to act as my glue to put everything on. I'm going to use my glue or my frosting, just to put a little bit of frosting underneath this rainbow. And when I put this rainbow together, I actually put the toothpicks so it'll anchor it in my cake. I'm just gonna find the center of the cake. Push it down as far as it goes. I think I'm gonna stick my flower on this left side. I'm going to stick on the Amelia name with some more frosting on the back of the cardstock. I'm going to try my best to not get a lot of frosting on this gold if I can. And then I just have the little dot to glue on. I'm going to start gluing on the flowers. So my plan for this cake was to actually glue the flowers on the bottom of the cake. So I think I'll start, my favorite I think are these daisies. I'll start with those. I have the flower here, and then I'm going to do the stem. Just to kind of balance it, I think I might do another daisy on the other side. And I can fill in some other flowers in the middle that aren't quite so tall that will go under this name. And I think it might be neat for this one to have just some little tiny leaves. I'm going to put a daisy here in the back. As I'm putting this together, I'm noticing it might be nice to have a toothpick when you're putting this together, just so you can take off some of this excess frosting. After I made all these flowers, I actually let them dry in this pan, and I kind of arranged them how I wanted them to be on the cake so that it's easier. Once I get to the cake, I kind of have an idea of how I want the stems, how I want the flowers. Okay, I think I'm happy with it. I think after this, I would definitely put it back in the fridge to let it set up, just so my frosting kind of sets up like glue and they're not, and none of the flowers are going to wiggle around.